You remember the last time Snooga and I took you on a creek hike. Well, we're getting ready to go one today. It's Memorial Day. You can tell she's pretty excited. And look how the view off my deck has changed since our last creek outing. The trees are leafing out, and you can hardly see the creek. First off today, I thought I'd show you the little brown bat that's living in our carport. You can see how cute he is. He sleeps here all day long. And then at night he goes out and catches bugs. Look at those big ears on him. Here's another interesting flower along our walk. This is pale beard tongue. Isn't it pretty? Each one of those little flower blooms looks almost like a snapdragon or a lily. Snooga's pretty excited and she doesn't want me to stop and take any pictures of our flowers. These flowers are by our pump house. These are ox-eyed daisies, and I'm seeing them everywhere. Aren't they sweet flowers? Makes me want to pick some to take them in the house, but I know they will be much prettier out here. And I get to look at them every time Snooga plays Chuck It. There she is waiting, but we're not going to play right now. We're going to save it for the lake. And here's our poison ivy patch. Boy, the poison ivy's looking big this year. Do you remember the song? Poison ivy has 3 leaves, white berries grow upon it. It is food for birds and deer, but people should not get near. Poison ivy, leaves of 3. Poison ivy, let it be. Bush or vine, do not touch it unless you want to itch, itch, itch. Here we are at the lake. Snooga's quite excited. She wants to go swimming. See across the lake, all the blackberries blooming over there? We'll get out her Chuck It stick so she can go swimming. Okay, here we go, Snooga. Ready? Oops, that one didn't go very far. It's hard to hold the camera and chuck at the same time. Sit, Snooga. Drop it. Drop it. Good girl. Drop it. Good girl. Here we go. Ready? There she goes. She's excited to play Chuck It today, especially in the water. But sometimes she has a hard time getting the ball. It keeps floating away from her. There you go, Snooga. You got it. Good girl. She is drying off after getting in the water. She doesn't like to be wet, I guess. Here she wants to go again. Oh, she's got to shake. Too bad you guys aren't here to shake for her to shake on. You gonna let it go? You gonna let me throw it again? Okay, here we go. No. Drop it, Snooga. Good girl. Here we go. There, she got it. Oh, yep, she got it first try that time. It's hard to see this camera out in the sun. Here she comes. Look what we have here. It's a bunch of little birdie feathers. I wonder what happened. There's a few more right over there too. I wonder what kind of bird it was. And I wonder what happened to it. Lots of little birdie feathers. See? You can see them here. Maybe I'll take one back and try to identify it in my bird book. They're tiny. There's my finger. You can see how small it is. A little birdie feather. Here we are on the back side of the lake. There are the blackberries along the path. But look on this side. These are not blackberries. This is multifloral rose. It has stickers like blackberries, but doesn't produce the berries. I would much rather have the blackberries. Snooga's still excited about her ball. She wishes you were here to help throw it with her. There's Snooga drying off. And there are the blackberries at the edge of the field, and all along the lake on this side are blackberries. You can see them. And there's even, you can see even on the far side of the lake, the blackberries. Here are the blackberries up close. And you could almost see the berries where the flowers were starting to form. Can you see that there? Here are the gooseberry bushes right next to the blackberry bushes. You can see a gooseberry down in there ready to be picked right there. I've heard that gooseberries are very sour. They are sour. They taste kind of like a sour grape and have the texture of a grape, only much smaller. There's some right there. And look, there's your favorite thorn tree with the thorns thick on it. I had to trim back some of the branches while I was mowing because it kept trying to stab me. I don't know if we'll be able to keep this tree because it might drop thorns and cause us to get a flat tire in the lawnmower tires. Can you hear all the birds tweeting? I can't see them, but I sure can hear them. And look at that sky today. Over there, it kind of looks like rain. But on this side, the sky is clear and blue. Here we are going through the cool tunnel. You can really feel how different it feels when you're under the shade in the tunnel as opposed to out in the sun. It's easier to see in the glass of the camera when we're in the shade as well. Snooga's running way up ahead, hoping to get in the lake once again. There's some blue star grass growing right next to the lake. Can you see it? It's a pretty little flower, but it's not very big. See, here is the chucket stick next to it. It's a tiny flower. And I think the name of it is blue star grass. There's what's left of some yellow rocket. Remember, we identified it the last time we went to the creek, but it's almost done blooming. All the blooms have fallen off. Can you see that dragonfly there on the water, or on that branch? He's just sitting there watching us. Oh, I know that all of you will recognize this plant. It's the baby diaper plant. Its real name is a yucca plant. But see, isn't it beautiful? Fuzzy. Baby diapers. The pioneers used it for baby diapers. If you're ever caught in the woods, it makes great toilet paper too. See how big the leaves are? You can see how they might be baby diapers. Snooga and I are going the back way today over to the creek to see what kinds of things we can see along the way. There's some more blackberries blooming like crazy. And they have lots of bees. See that bee there? Pollinating the blackberries, gathering honey. I wanted to show you these. These are common milkweed plants. There's lots of different kinds of milkweed. This is one of the kinds that we planted at preschool. And I'm going to examine it and see if maybe there are any caterpillars on it or eggs. That looks suspicious right there. I'll show you why it's called a milkweed plant. If you pull down here one of the leaves off, see how it looks very milky? Also, when the caterpillars eat the milkweed, most caterpillars that eat milkweed are a bright yellow or orange, and that means don't touch me, I'm poisoned, because the milkweed that they eat these leaves, make them poison to birds and other things. Here are some blackberries that are all finished blooming, and you can see how they're already starting to make little blackberries there. They're little hard green berries right now, but ooh, if it rains at the right time and they keep growing and get enough sun, these will grow into tasty, tasty, tasty blackberries for us to pick in a month or so. Snooga even likes to eat blackberries. We're getting ready to cross the driveway. We're on the back way over to the creek. Here's another kind of flower growing along near the blackberries. This is honeysuckle. Does it smell sweet? And look at those blossoms. Aren't they interesting to look at? Snooga and I are still walking, but we hear thunder. I wonder if it's going to rain this afternoon. We'll keep walking and find out. Here is the wheelbarrow, and we have two new residents. The snapping turtle, which you've seen that on the video when we captured it in the lake, and we couldn't let it go because we couldn't get it out of the trap. And yesterday, Tom, Lucas and Jesse's dad, brought us an armadillo, and you can see the flies are already starting to work on it. It got hit by a car. See how its shell is kind of cracked in the back? So it will be interesting watching the two of these. There you can see his head, his little ears. His little ears right there. They kind of look like Shrek ears, don't they? And there is the snapping turtle. He has long claws. Here's the hole by the roundabout. You can see deer tracks in the hole, but it's almost dried up. I wonder what will happen to it when it rains again. There comes a plane in. There's the picnic area, but we don't have any kids to play here today, and Snooga has run down to the creek in front of me. She's in a hurry to get there. Look at that spider web on those grasses. And there's Snooga. She was hiding under a picnic table. Boy, does she want me to play chuck it with her. I'm going to wait till we get down to the water. Woo-wee, look at that thermometer. Almost 80 degrees. It is a hot one today, even in the shade. Here is the leprechaun house, looking quite shady. Still have some necklaces hanging. Oh, and it looks like he's kind of spruced up his entrance there a little bit with a rainbow tunnel. And there is the little bridge that he has. Looks like he's going to need us to do a little bit of weeding for him in front of the leprechaun house. But there it is. Here we are at the creek. I can hear it trickling along. It looks very clear today and pretty low. And look, there's a few sweet williams or phlox still blooming along the edge, but they are just about done. Aren't they a pretty purple flower? I think Snooga's ready to go get in. Ready, Snooga? There she goes. She does love to play chuck it. Look at that. There's a swing right out in the middle of the creek. A grapevine swing. Not sure how deep the water is there, but I bet some of you will want to swing on that later on this summer, if it will hold your weight. It should be interesting. There's Snooga walking in the creek. Can you hear the creek talking to us? Going down those little rapids there. We're almost to Picture Rock. It smells wet, moist, like the creek. And there is some water willow coming up. We'll have the prettiest little flowers on it later, and it likes to grow with its roots in the water. Snooga likes to walk on it. She found a little island right there in the middle of it. Hey, Snooga. Speak. There she is investigating the rapids. You can hear all the birds and the bugs tweeting. The bugs aren't tweeting, but the birds were. Snooga and I made it all the way to Picture Rock. It's kind of sprinkling a little bit, but there's no children on Picture Rock today. We miss you. Snooga? There she is exploring. Hey, Snooga. Here's Snooga, back at the wheelbarrow. We're in the shade right now where it's nice and cool. We're ready to go inside, have a big drink of water, and take a rest. Signing off for now from Cedar Creek, Snooga and Miss Sherry. Bye-bye.